can Halo be saved? It's been a hot minute for Halo. It's been rough. It's kind of been rough. I know like Infinite somewhat found its feet after a little while, but when that game first came out and it just wasn't a full release yet, there were so many things that were missing. Like you couldn't replay levels when it first came out. Like that was wild. It was clear that the game was meant to be a battle royale at some point, and they kind of pivoted but left the map in. Yeah, it just really wasn't Halo. You got this hook to get you around. For me, it just wasn't Halo, and they just tried to speed it up a little bit too much. And I didn't mind the slower pace of the older Halos, to be honest. Like in the arena shooter sort of setup that it has. And I just think they kind of went away from that. And I don't mind that Halo Studios now or 343 did their own take on Halo once Bungie left. But yeah, I just kind of think they have all lost what Halo was. So Combat Evolved is now coming up to a big anniversary, and on the 24th or 25th of October, depending where you live, the Halo World Championships, it's probably going to be announced that a remake of that game is going to come out. Some things that have been like heavily rumored, I'm going to put an asterisk in there, but most of this I would say is like rumored confirmed, if there's a term for that. Or at least it'll probably be very close to that situation, is that there's going to be some changes in the level design, just because, especially the second half there of Combat Evolved starts to be a little bit the same, which I don't blame. It was a game that came out in, 2001? And yeah, we're just coming up to the 25th anniversary now. So, it hasn't aged the best. I think it's still fun to play, and there's still a lot of things there. But obviously, when it comes to if a game released like that now with such repetitive level design, that would definitely go against the game. And there's a few, like some of the controls aren't quite as punchy, so I think it's revolutionizing that. It looks like it's going to be on the Unreal Engine with the overskin of the original engine that it was on. Very similar to the way Elder Scrolls did their setup for their redo recently. Which, by the way, was a smashing success. It also, my guess is, and this is purely a guess, and I'm sort of reading between the weeds here. So this is the last Halo Online Championships that's going to be done in the Halo Infinite universe. So they're really winding this down now. The reason why I find that to be a little bit interesting is that these championships are going on for a long time. It's a significant Halo event, which would tell me that we're either getting a Combat Evolved multiplayer or this Life for Service multiplayer game that look like it's going to be set and it's going to be free to play. That might be coming out in the next year also. That might be bundled with the Combat Evolved. So that's something to look out for. Like it might be Combat Evolved first and then kind of the Life for Service second. But it's just something to look out for. Like it might be a really big announcement at this time, because obviously a new multiplayer game is going to come in, and whether that is going to be Combat Evolved, the first one, or if there's just a whole new multiplayer that's set in. So whether the two are going to be sort of separated, and I assume they will be, like I think they will be, to at least the way that they play. Like I think I'm hoping Combat Evolved just sort of keeps, like I don't want sprints, I don't want hooks and things like that to get around. I don't really want that. I just want a punchier version of Halo. The other things I do want is, and I think this is where like Combat Evolved, the Master Chief Collection, I think this is where they missed a step, is that all the campaign isn't cross-play across all consoles and PC. I think it was only Halo 3 and ODST that you could do that with someone on PC. Which kind of, I don't know, made things a bit difficult, especially when it's just Xbox and PC. So that was a little bit annoying, I think. So I'm hoping if they do a remake, 7 years after the remaster of Master Chief, that there's at least those things set up, and it isn't just remaster. It is a top-down rebuild remake that is going to look fancy. And then the Life for Service multiplayer, whether that comes out next year is still to be said. But if that does come out, that Life for Service multiplayer, then I'd really like to see that be its own thing, be punchy. My guess is that both of these games are going to be available on PlayStation. That's been the general credence of Xbox, whether that's their day one. I would say if it's a Live Service multiplayer, they'll be on everything day one. But yeah, the Combat Evolved, if it maybe comes a few months down the road. But I think it's clear, especially if there's a multiplayer component to Halo, having it in as many consoles and users as possible can only help the game's longevity, where if you just kind of only keep it on Xbox, and obviously Xbox hardware sales aren't doing the best, and you've got Game Pass that has now increased in price, although, Halo Combat Evolved day one might, help a little bit with that price rise for at least one of the months. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure to put on a remake in a live for service multiplayer game, I have to admit. And I'm just kind of like, if Halo bails out here, if this one doesn't succeed, is it time that you just kind of walk away from Halo? Like, is it time to be like, yeah, it had a good run, but it's been a while since I've had a banger. What, Halo 3 was 2007? I mean, that was a cultural event at the time. Like, that was a huge gaming event. That actually made mainstream news. So you're looking at, what, 18 years ago? And I know there's been other Halos since, but just for that, like, real call, like, oh, but this is going to be amazing. And it was the last real Halo that I feel like came out completely polished and complete. And I know it burnt out pretty much Bungie doing it, but yeah, that was a great game. But now, yeah, it's a lot of pressure on. I kind of am a bit hopeful, but like I'm on the optimism side of things. I'm a bit tongue tied today. I really am. Like I think that they might be able to get this going and get this right, especially if they do Bungie right with Combat Evolved, and that's a really good game from the get-go. And again, it'll be the first time it'd be on the Sony ecosystem, I'm assuming. So, you know, it opens the doors up for Halo for a community that may have never played it before. Especially if you only had PlayStation and you never really got into PC or Xbox. That really opens up the door for a lot of people to be able to get into this universe. And then if you couple that, or very shortly after have a live for service multiplayer come onto the scene, that could do a lot. It really could do a lot. So, yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm curious. But yeah, curious what you think down below. Comments down below, obviously, on how you think this is all going to lay out. But look, you know, I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm liking what I'm hearing, and yeah, as long as they just stay faithful to the content. My brother loves Halo. He's the other one on the channel. He prefers it a lot more than me. I like it, but he loves it. So yeah, I think he's keen for just something to work in this space. Hit the subscribe button because that really does help us out. We're a small baby channel. And hit the like button because then it algorithms it to other people and it algorithms it. Anyway, I'm going to edit this up, cut this up, and get on out of here. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. My name is Brenton. This is RetalinLive. I'm out of here. Bye.